And it came to pass. The Jeeli Beeli 3 came into existence. We couldn't have done it without all of the beautiful souls who believed in us enough to make this music with us, and without the influences of the people that came before. Merry Christmas, you filthy animals!
It must be a very special Christmas edition of We Won't Let It Go to Waste, Episode 5. Can you believe how far we have come? This is the podcast for Cosmic Kitten fans, by Cosmic Kitten fans, with Cosmic Kitten fans. Yes, I pointed that way, but I was told last time that you're actually this way, but on my video you're pointing that way. So trust me. And for Cosmic Kitten fans is another time, and watched by Cosmic Kitten. Today, our very special guest on this very special holiday edition is none other than this gentleman right here. I want you all to give a warm welcome to Dawn of Break of Dawn Productions. If you are not clapping right now, turn the video off and sit in the dark. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here tremendously. Hey, Dawn, hey, how's it going?
Hey, it's been going great, man. It's been a great holiday season. The last couple of months, we've been busy making music and working on lots of fun stuff. And now I'm enjoying some time with my family. I hope a lot of all of you out there are doing the same, or with friends, or at least getting a moment off of work to enjoy some much needed quiet time. I know everybody out there is working hard, so I'm doing the same thing right now while I'm visiting family for the weekend and for Christmas. So,
are you in town, or are you away?
No.
Oh, you're in your house.
Right now I'm up in I'm up in Northern California at the moment, up in Redding.
Oh.
It's where it's where my family is now. Yeah.
That must have been quite the trek. 6 hours?
6 hours. It's about 9. It's not too bad.
Oh!
I usually do. Yeah. But a lot of times I do the drive during the night or during off hours, and it's just just smooth sailing. It's pretty good. It's no problem.
Smart. Hey, so even though I've already introduced you as Dawn, why don't you tell the people at home what's your name, or what you would rather be moving forward referred to as?
Yeah, Don's okay. A lot of times I go by Donnie.
You
Donnie's
prefer
fine.
Donnie. You prefer Donnie. I can do Donnie. I can do Donnie. I can do lots of things if I put my mind to it. Trust me. Donnie, where are you from in this world? Not currently, but just like in general.
Well, I've lived pretty much my whole life in California, mostly in the Northern California, and then now I live down in LA. I live over in a neighborhood called Mar Vista, over by Venice Beach. So,
okay,
I like it over there.
Sick. That's when that was part of that the story that we're going to get into about because this is a special Jeeli Beeli 3 1-year anniversary, though I don't know, roughly anniversary, maybe give or take a few days. Wish I had done that research sooner, but you know me. You had recently moved back to SoCal around that time, right? That was the whole tale that was told.
Yeah. So I moved down to SoCal or I moved down to the LA area, back to the LA area in 2020. So right kind of towards the tail end of COVID.
Okay. Ooh. What a bloody nightmare. I mean, COVID. Not moving back to SoCal, just COVID.
No, I love it down in the Los Angeles area. I used to travel quite a bit for a living. I've been all over the U.S., quite literally, and I've been over huge swaths of the rest of the world. And
Nice.
of all the places I've been, I just love, and I always come back to Los Angeles. I just feel like it's one of the best places. It just is. It's a fantastic place to live. I love it.
It's pretty, yeah, no, I've been there many times, as you well know. I think, though, my own main criticism is just the traffic is kind of not spectacular. Not spectacular at all. But beyond that, pretty dope place, to be honest.
You know, funny thing about traffic is it gives you plenty of time to listen to music. If you stay off your phone and you can just put the radio on or put on a album, or you're just interested in checking out new playlists, I think a lot of people have kind of forgotten that. So traffic for me is my time to just zone out and put on, start maybe listening to music, listen to Cosmic Kitten stuff, listen to demos we're working on, whatever it is, because you're like a captive audience, you know. So once I started thinking of it like that, I don't, it doesn't bother me anymore.
Well, that's probably a good mindset to have, because that traffic is not ending anytime soon. Hey, Donnie, what are you doing? I.e., whatever, work, projects, bands, etc. What do you got on your plate? Let's see the plate.
Yeah, so the big thing going on in my life right now is Break It Down Productions, right? I started this about, Zach and I essentially started this about a year ago, and we opened up a studio in Long Beach, down at the corner of Long Beach Boulevard in Anaheim, East Anaheim. And we try our best to get bands in, record, mix, and master, and work on albums. That's really kind of the crux of it. So it's been like any business starting off, it's slow, and we've been building momentum and getting more and more referrals and building a better network and trying to put out great music, which is priority number one. Is everything we want to come out. We want it to be awesome, and we want everyone to be happy with the music, because it's their baby, and we want to make sure that it comes out awesome. So that's really that's been the focus. This past year has been a big learning experience for me. Zach has some experience doing this, and when I partnered up with him, he brought some of that on board, because he's done some work in studios before, which has helped me tremendously. And at the same time, then I've been, I put this is something I've wanted to do for a long time, so it just sort of was like a great match. And that's what, so he, when we have time, we collaborate, and or we work with various artists from the area, and it's been working out really well. Everyone we've worked with has been fantastic. Met lots of really great people, and I'm just really enjoying the building of the business so far.
That's awesome. Yeah, there's always like new people coming in. I think my last trip there was like just a new band that came in next door to where Cosmic Kitten rehearses. So that's pretty certainly promising. And hey, I mean, we'll do the advertising later, but I will stress that if you are a musician and you don't want to be conned, you need to go to Break of Dawn. You can use that one. That one's for free. That one's for free. You can
I like it.
You don't want to be, because there are people out there that will, they'll do it half-assed, or they'll take advantage. They'll take the money up front and all that stuff. So it's really important to like have a very trustworthy and noted name with a lot of experience between you and Zach. It's my personal opinion. Actually, no, it's a fact. Sorry everyone, it's a fact. Hey, Donnie, have you ever worked with... Now, I want to point out that some of these questions might sound dumb, because I know partial answers to, or full answers to, or maybe not at all. But it's just for the people out there. Have you ever worked with or alongside Cosmic Kitten or on something, just at all? Just whether or planning on directly working with them? I mean, with Zach for sure, but let's hear it in your own words.
Yeah, so basically the way this all went down to start. So there's a little, I'll tell a little bit of the backstory, because it answers the question, but it gives you a little bit of context.
Sure.
So moving to Los Angeles for me was tied into finishing up my schooling. I went back to college to get a music production degree from Berklee College of Music out of Massachusetts.
Oh,
and when I was in Southern California, to graduate, I needed to do a series of projects, and through a couple of mutual friends, they set me up with Zach. Right? They knew of Cosmic Kitten. They were friends with Zach and Karen, and they introduced me to Zach. Zach graciously agreed, and he helped me with my final projects to graduate from college. So that's how we got started. And if you've gone online and listened to the Ozone EP, which includes Believe and Cold, and A Lie, those were 3 songs that we recorded as part of my graduation. So that's how.
Keep going.
Okay, so that's how Zach and I met. So in partial answer to you, right from the get-go, our relationship was built around recording and collaborating and working on projects together. And fortunately for me, Zach was very easy to work with. Him and I believe we hit it off right from the get-go, because he's a musical professional. He's been doing this his whole life, and
since 5 years old.
He came in prepared. Yeah, he came in with the vision. He was prepared. He did all these things right, and right out the gate, we got together on that first EP probably 6 times to finish it up, 5 or 6 times to go out and do the recordings and then do the mixing and things, and we just hit it off. We started to become friends after this, because we found that we were able to work together so well. So then fast forward to finish your question. Fast forward to last year, which was about, because that was a couple years ago. Fast forward to last year, Zach approached me and talked to me about Jeeli Beeli 3. And for that album, I was very flattered that he would consider letting me work with him to do the recording and to do the mixing for all of the songs, and then we collaborated and did the mastering for all the songs together. And that was very special in a lot of ways. Not only, so the Jeeli Beeli thing was really cool, and if you're interested, I can go into a little bit more detail about that project, and if we want to stay on that project, we can talk about some of the details of that.
100% agree, because you just read my mind. I thought we would take a little detour and talk about Jeeli Beeli 3. I just wanted to real quickly state that the reason I ran off quick is because I thought I had a physical copy of that album, that the Ozone album, but I don't. I have this one, and so I just flung a bunch of CDs everywhere just to desperately find this, but it's not the right one. So no, this is all Zach. This is all Zach.
Yeah, and I'll give you a little insight. So just to backtrack just a hair, we'll go back to Ozone for a moment. Although we recorded and produced those 3 songs for the EP, right? A Lie, Believe, and Cold. We actually, as part of my second thing I needed to do to graduate, we actually recorded an entire album, and that has been in the works in the background for a while now, and we hope to have that done soon. So this is a little insider info. There's an entire Ozone album that hopefully soon. It's been in the process. We've been mixing it, and eventually we're going to sit down and finish it up, and so hopefully we'll be able to get that out to everybody. So I just wanted to throw that out there, but that was also part of what we did. So we ended up recording in total, I think, 12 songs that have been those 3 plus 9 more that are all recorded and ready to go. We just need to finish them up.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, I'm always looking forward to see Zach, because that's his baby. That's his baby that he I think he has a show tonight. I think he has a show tonight.
That's right. Unfortunately, I'm going to miss it. They're playing tonight.
Well, yeah, you're in.
Yeah, right. They're playing tonight. Zach's going to try and live stream it on Instagram. So stay tuned. If he's able to, then everyone should be able to join it through his Instagram link. And that would be awesome. I'm looking forward to it, because if you can, I'll watch it from here, which is great.
Yeah, it's for those that want to go. It's live at Beer Thug Brewing, and it's it's Metal Night, Deadly Night, with Corvus, featuring DFC, or I don't know how to read Old English letters, and I'm dumb, and I'm sorry in advance, and Ozone, of course, and that will be the version that you're all used to of seeing, including when they played that one big show on my birthday. Don't want to brag. October 15th, Wild Time. That same union is going to be tonight, if not already. It's free admission. And it's actually Saturday, December 23rd. So, that is today. That is today. I'm fucked. It's at 7 p.m., folks. So you got a half hour to get to 4400 East Gage Avenue, Bell, California, 90201. I don't know where Bell is, but hopefully you all do. Or is that short for Bellflower? Or is that its own city?
It's its own place, but I think it's over in that area. Over near Downey, if I remember correctly.
I just realized that this is going to go live on the air on Christmas Day, so no one is going to see this until after the show's done. So what am I talking about? Hey, Donnie, let's talk about Jeeli Beeli 3 for a hot minute now. Let's talk about
all right.
Please tell us everything in absolute detail.
Yeah, well, I wish I had explicit details on everything, but the concept of the album was to bring in a different bassist for each song, and in doing so, we wanted to, or Zach's vision and Zach and Karen's vision was to essentially just foster an era of collaboration. Of course, they get to work with tons and tons of bands around the area. They've made lots and lots of friends. There's lots of really cool people in this area down here that are making music at the moment. Oh, yeah. So bringing them in to collaborate on this album was really just a show of kind of appreciation and a chance to reach out to all these friendly and great people that they've met, throughout this process. So I was very flattered that Karen and Zach both approached me and said, "Hey, would you be interested in working on this with us?" So I got to be involved in a couple of ways, which was really neat. One of them was planned, and two of them were kind of impromptu. I got to play bass on was it Ha Ha Ha? I think it was. I played bass on that song. Since I'm not a bassist, it was one of the simpler songs, one of the easier bass lines.
And you also did the Ha Ha Ha's as well.
That's right, yeah. So that was one of the impromptu parts, is I got a chance to participate in the backing vocals, which I thought was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
And then there was what ended my participation on the creative side was I saw that when Zach, before it had officially gone live, Zach had posted the album and the notes up to Bandcamp. He had written an intro, and that intro included a story behind Jeeli Beeli, and anybody can go up there and read it, whatever else. For fun, I recorded myself speaking the intro as sort of a vocal thing. And one night when Zach and Karen were down at the lockout practicing, they came over to my room because our rooms are in the same building.
Yeah.
And I said, "Hey, what do you guys think of this? I did this for fun. If you like it, like it. You don't, you don't. I just got inspired and tried it." And they put it in the album. So the intro is me. And then after that, we added the sleigh bells and the ho ho hos and the sound of the wind and all that stuff in the background, and we kind of produced it a little bit. And that was a blast. And I was so thankful that they appreciated the what do you call it? Just sort of my I don't enter into the creative side very often. It's just not really my arena. I like being on the back. I like being on the back end of it. I like working with the musicians. I like working, with the music. I like being creative in those ways.
Mhm.
But one thing that's awesome about Zach and Karen is they never shoot down or belittle or not give people a chance to be creative. They appreciate their friends and people that are around them, and
Sure.
even if they hadn't chosen to add it to the album, they didn't even hesitate to listen and to see what I had to say and at least give me a shot. And that's one of the things I just love about working with them is they're super genuine, and they are they're focused, but they're also open at the same time to things around them. They have worked out to be fantastic people to have, not just in my professional life, but also in my personal life. For those reasons, I just really like having them around. So there's a long way of saying this was kind of the start of us having more of a collaborative business relationship. Was this opportunity to do Jeeli Beeli 3, and we brought bassists in. Not all bassists could come in, so some of them had to record their bass lines and then send them to us, which also worked out. So we applied those to the song, and then basically Cosmic Kitten, filled in all the blanks. So all the vocals. Jay, of course, played bass on some of the songs. Zach, played guitar. Karen played guitar. Zach sang. Karen sang. It was this huge, big collaborative effort. We also had some other guest vocals. In general, it was just a fantastic project. Everything went pretty, considering all the people and pieces that were involved. It went very smoothly. We had a lot of fun working on it, and then the release schedule. I think anybody who was paying attention last year, we released it as the 12 days of Christmas leading up. So each day, Karen and Zach posted themselves with a number. They released a song, and then at the end, the whole album was available up on Bandcamp, where you could download the songs or get the whole album together. And it was just it was a really, really fun experience. And I really think the songs turned out great. We really tried hard to capture the feeling of the songs, because they came from different eras and they were different types of bands, and there's different backgrounds to those bands and the meanings to the lyrics, and we tried to take all of that into account in the production of all of it and in the recording of it. So although everything has the Cosmic Kitten flavor and the feel to it, I think when you listen to the album, you can still hear some of the distinct styling that we tried to maintain to show that these were covers of these great songs by these other bands. So I think everything was really fun. I had a blast working on it, and Zach and Karen and Jay, of course, were a pleasure. It was great being in the studio all that time with them. We'd spend hours together working on the different parts and stuff. It was fantastic. It was great.
You know what I think about Jeeli Beeli 3, Donnie?
What's that?
See that? I sideswiped you.
Yeah, you have it going. You have the little bit of a twist.
Oh, no way. Did lightning strike me dead? Hell no. Just a little quick thing. Jeeli Beeli 3, ladies and gentlemen, was released December 12th of 2022. So it's been 1 year and 11 days. So 1 year, 1 week, and 4 days ago. Jeeli Beeli 3. And I think it's, like, don't get me wrong, Jeeli Beeli, the first and the second were awesome. But I think this one is the best. I also, sorry, go ahead.
In a bit of other good news, Jeeli Beeli 4 is in the works. It's been started.
Yes.
So, I hope I'm not stealing all of Zach's thunder here, but since we're talking about it, Jeeli Beeli 4 has been started. This one's a little bit more challenging though, because the collaboration side is with drummers. So getting all the drummers together and having them either record and send in their tracks or come into the studio and do their recordings has been a bit more challenging than just working with bassists. But the efforts so far have been paying off. Everything that's been recorded sounds great. I will say there is a hang-up. I'm supposed to be doing a song on this album. I'm going to be doing a cover of Deftones, and I haven't recorded my part yet, and Zach is all over me about it. So I'm sorry, Zach. I'm working on it. I will get it done. I apologize. I know. It should be the first one done, right? And we've just been busy with projects.
Yeah, of course.
And working with all these great artists and friends of ours. You had that interview with the Endorphins a couple weeks ago with Manny from the Endorphins.
That was Nick Patches.
Oh, that was Nick Patches, right? Yeah, that was Nick.
Sir.
So shout out to Nick, who you did interview the other day.
I did.
That's right. Shout out to Nick. So he interviewed the Endorphins the other day. If you guys haven't checked out his stuff, I think what he's doing is pretty cool too. And we worked with them and Zach and I put out a couple of their songs that are out right now. And so things like that, we've been working with all these local artists and everybody's connected. And so unfortunately, because of that, we got a little behind on Jeeli Beeli 4. So we're pushing hard to get it wrapped up, and that's one of the things that's on the front burner for January, is hopefully we get that wrapped up.
Yeah, it's a really like hectic time of year. Everyone knows that. So as long as you can get it out by the end of January, that'd be much appreciated on my part. Thank you, Donnie, for your consideration.
Alrighty.
I would like to, since we are still talking about Jeeli Beeli, and I do have the Bandcamp thingy here, I wanted to check out what the exact day was that it came out. I'd like to give some shout outs to them bassists that did show up on Jeeli Beeli 3 in order. We have Sky Wilson, who is performing also tonight with Ozone. He is one of the they are one of the members of that super group of Ozone. We've got and that was for Gimme. Or am I dumb? Yeah, that's the Big Takeover. I skipped to Gimme Danger. I had Joshua Drew in it, former bassist for Cosmic Kitten. Actually, there's more. There's more that used to be. There's Down in a Hole, and playing bass was Michael Parent. Over the Edge was based, which I'm pretty sure is a verb, by Kieran Simic. And if I mispronounced your name, I'm Canadian, so that's my excuse. We're just dumb here, okay? The Gravediggers song is based by none other than our little bundle of joy, Zachariah himself. As you already stated, by Don Mozzochi, and if I pronounced your name wrong, I don't think Mozzochi, right?
Mozzochi.
I pronounced it like it was a Japanese word. What a weeaboo I am. Don Mozzochi, which is this guy right here, folks. I fucking love that song. And we're gonna touch base on that a little bit later on. But at a Cosmic Carnival 2 last year, it was awesome to have seen Happy and Hemet alongside Carnberry Marie performing that song. Your Eyes, based by John Harrow, who is the lead singer of Light Dazed. Love them folks. Scentless Apprentice by Darling Dylan Falcon, who was another former bassist. Oh Nina, based by Zoe Rars, who is also in Eckstein and the Reckless Heart. And solo work as well. Sugar was based by Ale. Some of these people I don't actually personally know, so if I don't have a comment about them, it's not out of disrespect. You get fucking amazing. Don't sell yourself short, and don't give a shit what some Canadian knows or doesn't know. Sweet Young Thing Ain't Sweet No More, based by Johnster Pond of The Pawns, which Zach has in the past drummed for as well. And hey, who did the? Oh wait, sorry, that's another song. Transmission was based by, holy shit, it's Carnberry Marie. Goddamn! And who did the keys? Who did the keys for that song? Can you tell me who did the keys for Transmission by Joy Division? Who did the keys?
That was me, wasn't it?
Ayo! And finally,
I forgot I got a chance to do that one. I was so surprised. Zach said, "Hey, what do you think?" I said, "I could try it out," and I started working on it. And he was really happy with it, so he kept it.
Fuck. Okay, that was awesome. Finally, we have the current bassist for Cosmic Kitten, formerly of Saltwater Taffy, which is how I first got to know them, Jay Vesper. And let me tell you, bangers up and down. Like some of these, like some songs I've heard of many times. Some songs I've never heard of before. So it was great to be able to hear their renditions. Except that for some of them, I don't know what the original sounds like. But come on, better than these? Are you fucking joking? No. And some of these bands are dead now, so they probably are not going to be too mad that I said that, or actually watch this video to be mad to begin with. Back to you, Don. Do you have anything else to say about Jeeli Beeli 3? Jeeli Beeli 3. What was the process? Is this Houdini right here? Is that Houdini, or is that Houdini right there?
I think it is, but you'll have to confirm with Karen.
It looks an awful lot like Houdini. If that's not Houdini, that's Houdini's sister. That's Houdini's sister, David Copperfield. Okay.
Yeah, if you look really closely, you can see the brownish in Houdini's markings, because Houdini's got the like brown stripes, right?
It would certainly help if I wasn't wearing blue tinted shades, huh? So, are you privy to like the decision to picking the particular songs? I mean, for sure, like Gravedigger's song was as a tribute to Mark Lanigan, who had recently passed at the time. And of course, like a lot of these are like, songs they really liked, but do you know if if there was any like specific decision, like what were there songs that were like not chosen over others, or was it like these are it?
No, unfortunately, fortunately, unfortunately, I don't think it's really one or the other. I guess maybe Zach and Karen already had the songs picked. All these songs were personal to them. They were all songs that were by influences by people they love, like Transmission. They talked a lot about why they really wanted to include that song, because it was, by one of their favorite artists, and it's one of their favorite songs, by their favorite artist, and they really wanted to do it for that reason. That's every song on that list has that kind of backstory. It was handpicked. It was chosen by them. It wasn't arbitrary, and it wasn't just to put something on the album. I don't have a list, unfortunately. I don't remember specifically why they would have chosen each song, so I can't speak to that.
Sure, of course.
But when we were talking about the songs, because most of them, to be honest with you, were not songs they were songs I had heard, but they weren't songs that I was intimately familiar with from my growing up and from things that I listened to, the genres of music that I was into. So when I was hearing it, I was like, oh yeah, okay, I've heard this song. I know these songs, but these were very special to Karen and Zach, and they came in hot and heavy. These are the ones we want to do, bang 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 bang, and they already had in their head the people they wanted to play on them as well. Creatively, they're very driven in that manner. It's a very professional thing. They think things through, and they plan things out, and nothing, with the, like I said, maybe with the exception of the keyboard, or like the thing, the intro or whatever. Sure. Almost nothing on it wasn't planned. There was maybe some little happy accidents, but that's one of the things that I really liked about working on that album with them, is there's a lot of focus. Karen and Zach are very professional when it comes to their music lives, and when it's time to create, when it's time to get things done. I think that's one of the things that makes Cosmic Kitten so good, is that shines through. Every performance is feels raw, but there's a lot of practice and a lot of professionalism and a lot of effort that goes into making everything seem so effortless, right? That's just how good they are.
100%. Like they don't fuck around. Like this is dead serious for them. This is not like like a weekend gig. This is them. This is them. Like their other jobs only supplement this, and also not being on the streets, of course. But but absolutely, yeah. But you know what? I as we were talking about Jeeli Beeli 3, I came to a conclusion, and I'm wondering if you're in agreement with it. So, in the thing that you narrated, you're talking about like the bassist curse, right? Now, I think that this album right here is the incantation, a series of incantations that, when played together, are meant to break their bassist curse forever. I truly believe they have had amazing bassists in the past. That there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. But I think Jay, like in the Matrix, like in they are Neo. They are the one that is going to break the curse, and I think they were summoned because of this album. I truly believe that. I want to believe that, just like the X-Files.
Yeah, me too. I like you had mentioned, a lot of the people that I met through this process had been previous bassists, and when I first saw Cosmic Kitten, I saw them with their old bassist, and everyone I've met has been great. But bands evolve and things change, and a lot of times you just can't help that.
Sure.
In the past year, since Jay has been playing bass with Cosmic Kitten, things have just been stable. The shows have been fantastic. They were fantastic before, but I'm just saying, in continuing with that tradition of reliability and performance and energy and everything else, Jay's killing it, and I really appreciate that that they are making that effort to really stick with this band, because I think they're awesome.
1,000,000% in agreement. See, I'm not just making up words. Agreements. I agree.
Hey, it's trending now. It's already trending throughout this Discord.
Oh shit! You're right.
Yeah,
you're right. I hope don't pause the video and expand on my screen anyway. Don't you dare. Is there anything else about Jeeli Beeli we can touch base on, or is that basically it in a nutshell?
That's from my side. That's a big part of it, and like I said, just keep your eyes peeled and keep your notifications going through Instagram, whatever, for when Jeeli Beeli 4 drops, because I'm excited about working on that. They came back to me and said, hey, we'd like to continue working with you on this. So yeah. I'm super excited about it. I wish I had my drum part done, but unfortunately, because of life, family, and other projects and things, we're a little behind. But not just me. We've only got about maybe half or 2/3 of the stuff recorded for the drums and some of the other tracks. So we're getting there, but it's going to be soon, because once it gets rolling, it starts to happen really quickly, and then boom, next thing you know, that it's ready to go. So I'm waiting for that day. It's coming soon, and then we're just going to be off to the races.
You heard it here first, folks. Jeeli Beeli 4 coming out January 31st, and not a day later. Damn it. Hey.
No.
Panic! Hey, now that we've taken our detour, and we are now back on the freeway, Donnie, when did you first discover Cosmic Kitten?
So through that process with my buddies. So through Troy, shout out to Downey Music, and my friend Lalo, who introduced me to Troy, who introduced me to Zach, who then, of course, I met Karen when we were recording and things. From there, I hadn't heard of them. There's there's a million bands in LA, so you can't hear everybody. Yeah. So I had not heard of them yet. They introduced me, so I immediately went on YouTube and Spotify, of course, and go check them out. The very first video I watched of theirs was Broken Kneecaps, and I just and I was like, okay, I get these guys. I like it. The high energy, the raw video, the fun. I did not expect at that time to fully. I didn't fully understand. I did not expect how serious. I figured that they just made a fun video or whatever, but how serious music is in this process, and so. That my first experience, my first seeing them was sort of, I would say I was pretty naive, and I didn't fully understand what Cosmic Kitten was really about, and so I just saw it like another band, but I was really excited because I liked the music and the energy and everything was right up my alley. So I was like, okay, let's see where this goes, and then everything from there has just been fantastic. So.
What would your first impressions be of the band? Let's say, like, when you first saw them perform live, or a music video, or online, or just whatever. Like, however the first impressions of them as a band goes. Like, what were they?
So interestingly, COVID was still going on kind of at that time, and I wasn't really going out. As a matter of fact, I wasn't going out at all because, things, especially in Los Angeles, were pretty serious. The density, people were getting sick. I had family members die. I had people very close to me. They had family members die, and so it's kind of interesting. One of the very first experiences I had when the restrictions lifted and I felt comfortable going out and being in a densely, in a dense situation, was a Cosmic Kitten show. And I went to a place, it was in Anaheim, and it was called, what the heck was it called? It was, I took a note here. I was thinking of it earlier. I couldn't remember the place. I had to look it up. It was the Doll Hut down in Anaheim.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of off the freeway there. So I hadn't been out to a show in a while, obviously from the shutdown time. Okay. And I went and I saw there was 3 or 4 bands opening up. There's a couple stages in this place. There was an inside stage and an outside stage. Cosmic Kitten, this is my first time seeing them. They were playing on the outside stage, and all I remember besides the energy was this wall of sound being generated by Karen. I've talked to Zach about this. Yeah, I've had conversations with Zach about this after the fact, just talking about how they were doing this. Combination of fuzz pedal and other harmonics and things going on, plus that incredible amp that they always use in their shows, the thing that they beat the hell out of. It's been on tour. It looks like it's gone through 3 wars. But that, the bass, everything, and then Zach is so loud on the drums. The one thing about Cosmic Kitten, from a sonic perspective, because I have now, after this last Cosmic Carnival, which I think we'll talk about in a little bit here, I got to, I've done sound for them a couple times, and Zach plays very loud. I don't know if you haven't seen them live. Zach plays very loud, louder than just about damn near any band I've ever seen live, except for maybe big stage shows. Okay.
Sure. Of course.
And what that forces Karen and Jay to do is to play really loud also. There's just no way around it, because Zach is not going to play. Zach is not going to play soft. This is the Cosmic Kitten does not play soft. So Zach's beating the hell out of his drums. Karen is going crazy on her guitar. That drives Jay to just, you know, play with intensity, and everybody has to be loud. Well, I wasn't prepared for this. I had just that same night, I had seen two bands play indoors and one band play outdoors. Ahead of them was four bands that night, and they were alternating stages. They were playing outside, which should not have been as loud typically, right? Sonically, when you're inside, you get burnt. You know.
Oh yeah.
They were blowing the doors off the place.
Nice.
This wall of sound, this field around you that you were being, just embraced in this guitar and bass and drum. You could feel it, right? That is the Cosmic Kitten experience. That's the very first time I saw them play. And I have a recording of that, which I want to send to you, but I couldn't because the file's like way too big at the moment. I'll chop it up and I'll send it to you for your reference. But I have a recording from that show, and that is something that's different with them. When I was referring to the professionalism that they play with, it's the consistency of that energy and that loudness. And when I first experienced it, that night stuck with me, and every night since then has been a repeat of that pattern of showing up, playing with intensity, playing with a level of loudness that just, it forces you to engage, right? They don't pull back. Everything comes right at you. So that's what I remember from that experience. Is just how intense and just how much energy, how much sound they were able to create, and just it felt so raw and so visceral. It's amazing.
It definitely, I get what you mean. If you're just at the right spot, it will consume you. You can't escape. It's like a gravitational pull. But you don't want to leave anyway, so you're good. So that answers all those questions. So I guess we're gonna jump up to favorite show or event, whether it was something that you personally attended or maybe it's something that they streamed online. Whatever.
Well, so similar to, if you haven't guessed by now, having really liked the Jeeli Beeli experience, and where I think Cosmic Kitten kind of shines, I feel like they are born leaders within the community of bands and things. And I'm not saying that's not to say one is better than the other. That's not the point. But projects like Jeeli Beeli, and to answer your question about my favorite shows, my two favorite shows from them now have been both of the Cosmic Carnivals for the same reasons. Putting together these shows, bringing bands together for a good cause, to be able to raise money and donate money, shows there's a level of, I just feel like there's a level of like maturity and confidence in their craft. That's something that I don't see any other bands really do. There's been a few, and I think more and more are getting into this idea of giving back. But last year when I went to, leading up to and understanding what Cosmic Carnival was about, and then going to the show last year, I was just thoroughly impressed. The show was fantastic, of course, and some of the clips that I gave you access to are from that show. They were great. But just putting together the whole thing and bringing all these bands together is, I just think it's really important, right? It's more than just, it's more than just being a band and doing, but it's also giving back and trying to share these experiences with people, which is what music is all about. And that's something that Cosmic Kitten, I think, Zach, Karen, and Jay, something that they get. That this is a shared experience, and they take that. I think they take that very seriously. So, why is it my favorite show? I've seen them play maybe a dozen times now, maybe not as much as I probably could have, but I can't always go to every single show they're playing. Sometimes 3 times a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But those. So since I've been a fan of the band, those 2 shows in particular, including the one that they just did a month and a half ago, right?
Yeah.
I think those are very special to me because of why they do it. I think it's just important. So that's that's why I like those ones.
It's definitely a lot of hard work, but certainly for a good cause, and definitely worth it. I mean, I was there trying to help Zach last year's Cosmic Carnival, and I know how hectic it was. Like Zach had to stay behind, and Karen and I had to go and grab their stuff, and we had to miss out on seeing the Raccoon Union play, though he recorded it because I had it all set up. But basically what I'm getting at is that it's just so much hard work that Zach has to kind of miss out on stuff just to make sure that everything is flowing smoothly. So
yeah, this year the venue got moved last minute, and so we had to get everything set up over in West Hollywood at Powerhouse LA. And I know what you're saying because I did the sound this year. So I ran the mixing board on both. There were 2 stages. I ran the mixing board on both stages.
Nice.
And it was, yeah. It was. I mean, I was happy to. And that's the thing is I with these guys, nothing is a chore. When Karen and Zach came to me and said, "Hey, can you help us out with this?" I was like, "Of course," because I know how appreciative you guys are and why we're doing this. About giving this money back and participating, doing these things for a good cause and stuff. So, and everyone else that helped out feels the same way because of the way that Karen and Zach and Jay treat everybody, which is not something I think everybody gets to see. That how they are, how they connect with people. So.
Yeah, I think people think of LA bands and they think insubstantial or shallow or something like that. Stereotypically, but they are quite the antithesis of that. In my humble fact. Hey, Donnie, what's your favorite Cosmic Kitten album?
So, Zach and I have talked about this quite a bit. I am I'm a fan of Laugh of a Lifetime. The reason for that is I think it's the most mature, the most commercial, not in a bad way, right? Because people think commercial's bad. No. Mature, commercial, cohesive. Those are the things that come to mind when I listen to this album as opposed to, I think, some of their earlier works. I think their earlier works have bangers on them, and there's a lot of great songs that I love. This album, I feel like when I listen to it from song 1 all the way through, I get lost in it, right? It's not a collection of individual things, it's an album. And I think that's important. That's something, it's kind of an art that's been, not a lot of attention's been paid to in modern days, because nowadays it's just you go play your one song on Spotify, you're trying to get your 20 seconds on TikTok or whatever, you're trying to get your hook out there. And I think they did a great job on Laugh of a Lifetime of putting together a whole host of songs that all feel like they go together. And there's songs on there that I really, really like, but even the ones that aren't the ones I pick out as my favorites don't detract. Everything goes. Like I can listen all the way through the whole thing as I'm out driving, or if I'm out walking around the neighborhood or whatever, trying to get some exercise, and it doesn't. It's a great album. I think it really stands out for them, and I think it just shows the growth of where Cosmic Kitten is continuing to go and evolve to with their music. I think it's fantastic.
Basically, that's exactly what I had thought. I remember we were at a Roscoe Chicken and Waffles. I was eating chicken, and back in 2019, and they were kind of asking like how I thought like their albums were going, and I said, you know, it's just basically like, you know, like if this is the starting point and they're pretty awesome here, they're just like literally like doing this, you know. And so when Laugh of a Lifetime came out, I already knew it was going to be a million times better than You Gotta Understand, which is a million times better than Lobotomy, which is a million times better than Be Nice to Strangers, and Be Nice to Strangers is already fucking amazing. So like, so yeah, 100% agree. So their next album, I'm scared. I'm scared of what their next album is going to be. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's there's always things going on. There's always that's another thing. They never rest. There's always something. There's always music. There's always projects. There's always shows. This is a lifestyle for Cosmic Kitten. This is something that is making music and performing is on the forefront always. And that's what I love that. I love that because it shows in everything that they do. So, but you know, again, I can go on and on about the professionalism and everything else, but the music is what's important. And Laugh of a Lifetime, just really. So, you know, maybe the next question is going to be something like, "What's my favorite song off of that album?" Right? And while I'm talking about it, yeah. Well, I just really wanted to point out. All the World was really, the first time I heard that song was just really interesting because it was topical, and a lot of people were coming, you know, were really dealing with the effects of spending way more time than they were used to being bottled up, whether it be physically or emotionally, dealing with, you know, sometimes life and death situations because of what was going on in the world at the time. So I think Karen's perspective on that in that song really was interesting, because when you compare it to the idea of the Laugh of a Lifetime, you know, to me it sort of speaks of that, you know, of that not whimsical, but that sort of you know, that you know, like a backhanded compliment or whatever, sort of that dichotomy between like what, you know, you hear Laugh of a Lifetime and it's supposed there's things about that point to you know, positive things in your life, and then you've got this song that's talking about you know, this upbeat, energetic song talking about being stuck, you know, during COVID, and that really, I don't know, it really grabbed me. I really felt drawn to that song. So I just think it's when I get to that on the album, it's early in the album, and when I was like, I'm kind of looking forward to listening to that, because then the energy when Karen is just belting out the lyrics and the screams and stuff, it's kind of what a lot of us felt. We just wanted to, you know, we're locked up and we just want to destroy stuff. I feel that every time I hear that song.
That's a very cute music video too.
Yeah.
So you were right. I was going to ask what your favorite song was. I was going to say that if it was going to be a difficult choice, that you could choose one from each album. But if All the World is your final answer, that's it.
Well, there is another song that I do like, and that's Mother Father. I really like that song. I really like that song. It's there's a lot of emotion in that song. It's very raw, very, very visceral.
Kind of disturbs me a little bit.
Yeah.
But in a good way. Like not in an offended way, but in a good way.
Yeah, it's hard. A lot of bands can put out or get popular or just get stuck in a tone. So there's so many bands on the radio and that just make it, end up getting 600 million views on YouTube or on Spotify or whatever it is, and then because they got the hit song, and that's fine, right? Sure. It takes a lot of hard work to get there. I appreciate nobody anybody who's listening to this, whether you like it or not, nobody just wakes up one day, thinks they're going to be a musician, sings some stuff into a microphone and makes $1 million. It doesn't work that way.
Unless you're an industry plant.
Musicians, no, even then, musicians work really hard on their craft, and spend a lot of time practicing and building relationships and sticking it out through crappy bands, trying to get trying to make it and trying to do things. And you can make it on a style, and everything that you make then becomes that style because that's what you made it on. Mother Father is the kind of song that I wish every band was capable of making, because it's the kind of thing that that really shows the vulnerability within what somebody is capable of, whoever the songwriter is, whether it's the singer or whether it's the the bassist or the drummer or whoever's writing it. And if you can get that kind of performance, I think that any band that was capable of doing that would be could be even better. And so I really like that song because you can have all these other songs that I really like by Cosmic Kitten, but the fact that they're also capable, in my opinion, of putting that song out shows that they're just so much better, right, than just a Broken Kneecaps or a Hairy Ape or a Laugh of a Lifetime or whatever else, which I think all could be hits, I think all should be hits. But to have that in your back pocket, to be able to throw that in on an album, and when you get to that part of the album and you listen to that song, I think that's a sign of a whole nother level of ability and emotional vulnerability that I think a lot of bands lack. So.
And they also have In My Time is another softer one. Gold Pool, Songbird. Songbird is definitely a very, so they can elicit more than just fuck yeah, get in the fucking pit. They can catch you in the feels as well. They can they're many talented, multi-talented, absolutely. And like you said, I agree, that's very important, because I mean, you can be like a one-trick pony and be really good at it, but if you and if that's what you do, that's fine. But Cosmic Kitten are like multi-trick super ponies. Clydesdales.
Exactly.
And that kind of also leads to what would be your favorite lyric or lyrics to any of their songs?
Yeah, so I kind of thought about that. It's not really a thing that I get into too much about, like, specific lyrics. Like anybody, I like the hooks in a lot of the songs. I like them, I like how they get melodic in certain spots, certain things. So I thought about that, and I said, so if I go to All the World, one of my favorite songs by them, I think the line, I always get a kick out of the line, I set fire to these blinds, right? I just think that's funny. I just think that's funny as hell. But also, specifically, there's a couple other things that Karen says in the song. You speak of imperfection. I apologize. I've got a note here, right?
Sure.
You speak of imperfection, yet bore me with your reflection. And I think the interpretation of that, just thinking of that, internalizing that in and of itself, you can bring that when you're criticizing yourself, or when you're doing self-reflection. When you continuously, I think what's going on there is you bore me with your reflection. It's like I continue to criticize myself, yet I'm not coming up with anything new, right? Yeah. It's the same old criticism over, and at least this is how, when I listen to that lyric, that's how I think of it. And I just think there's a lot of power in that. Like, you keep beating yourself up over the same thing over and over and over again, or you're just just unhappy about something, and it's the same thing over and over and over again. So, I speak of imperfection. You blow me with your reflection. I envision myself looking in a mirror, criticizing myself, and being bored. Eventually realizing that I'm being bored because I can't think of anything new, so I need to get past this. Maybe, right? I don't know. That's just that jumps out at me as something as just a really interesting insight in that song, right? Because being stuck inside during COVID, or during any time in your life when you feel trapped like that, that's something we naturally do. Is we internalize and we self-reflect, and we have these, maybe these monologues, internal monologues, and whatever else. And I just thought that those lines were pretty good. And then there's one more line in that song that I also think just essentially, in general, I just think it's a great line. Nightmares aren't the enemy, prepare you for the ugly, right? And that's realizing maybe that there are things, the unknown, there are things that we could be afraid of. There's the outside world. In this case, physically, or literally, there's the outside world, and there's stuff going on, and that we don't have control over, and that it's just an interesting take, in my opinion. That line, nightmares aren't the enemy, but they prepare us, right, for the ugly. I think it's just the line, the song's just full of some really great insights, and so that's something that's part of the reason why I like it so much.
As you were talking about that, it started to make me think that a lot of the lyrics in that particular song may be able to, or are expected to be taken literally, figuratively, metaphorically, kind of like all at once. So, like, for example, the "I set fire to the blinds" thing could be a literal interpretation because you're just losing your mind. It could be something you want to do because you're stir crazy. It could be like, prepare you for the ugly. Could be like, what's it gonna look like outdoors once we finally can, sort of. But the mirror thing could be like, sick of seeing yourself in the mirror all the time because, like, you're, what else are you gonna do? You're at home, you go to the mirror, brush your teeth. Fuck, man, look at you. You're a fucking mess. Something like that. But I'm gonna guess the more cerebral the interpretation, the more likely that's the correct answer. So I'm gonna assume yours are correct and my monkey lizard brain ones are not. Because Cosmic Kitten, like, anytime I've had to guess what a Cosmic Kitten song was about, I was wrong. Except for Kitten Caboodle.
Well, only Karen would know, because I'm pretty sure she wrote this one along with, or they wrote this one along with the other things that they write. And like lately, I heard this banger of a song we were working on. And I found out it was, and I was totally in love with it. And then I found out it was about a cat. I was like, okay, well, I guess I interpreted that one wrong. So you never know. You never know.
Yeah, that's true. We did get your thoughts on Laugh of a Lifetime, so I think what we're going to do is jump to what are your thoughts on the recently released Fog Brain music video from that aforementioned album?
So I got my notification.
Yeah.
I watched the video, and within about 8 minutes of it being released, I sent a text to Zach and said, "This video is a banger, dude. This video is awesome." So, immediately, I thought of one of my favorite songs and one of my favorite videos, which was Big Bang Baby by Stone Temple Pilots. Has a very, very similar, very similar. Doesn't have the rotating thing. Other bands have done the rotating thing, right? But that retro 80s vibe, along with sort of like a raw feel, because it fits the song really well. I'm totally into it. I love the song. I think the video is just another, back to what we were talking about a few minutes ago, about the evolution of things continuing to grow and evolve and get better, album by album, song by song. I think this video is just another level on top of the things that they continue to do as a band. The ideas get more intricate, more interesting. The production, the risks, the things that they're doing. I really dug it. I love the rotating. I loved the bouncing between the band members on the beat and all that. I thought that was all really very creative. And then the wall of old school TVs is such, it's such a video killed the radio star sort of idea from way back in the day, that it was kind of a staple in the 80s and 90s when some of these old retro videos, they'd have like the wall of TVs, and as the person walked past it, things would play on them and stuff. And the thought behind it and everything I thought was just really cool. I love the video, and the song's fantastic. It's a great song. It's again, and just another one of these songs off this album. So like the elevation, you can go through and how many of these songs, like in modern day, how many of these songs could be released as singles, right? As you go through and you put out a video for each one, or you do certain things, it's like this song now is up to like 5-6 songs that could be released as singles that all have high production value and great lyrics and a lot of energy and emotion and commercial viability and everything. Just this album is awesome. This album is great.
Oh, absolutely. And a lot of the especially like if they're going to do more of these like cinematic type dealies, maybe they're only going to do one per album, like Muddy, and then also Laugh of a Lifetime, eponymous track. I really love those. The Fog Brain one, of course, it was great visuals. The juxtaposition between kind of like order and chaos, kind of like when everything goes red. When everything goes red, that's when I think it's kind of like the manic sort of feelings of what the song is about.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, you're right.
That's all I have to say because I'm not a reviewer, but yeah, I 100% agree. Hey, Donnie, what are your favorite Cosmic Kitten moments? Live, on social media? Was it a skit you saw? Was it something that Zach said? Was it something that Karen said? Was it something that Jay said? What are they, Donnie?
Yeah, so I'm very fortunate because I get to spend some time with these guys. I see Zach very often. I see Karen very often. And last year, I guess it was around this time, maybe a little bit earlier in the year, just on some night. This is when they were at their old place. We went to Pike's Restaurant down there on was it on 4th Street or 3rd Street in Long Beach?
Yeah, something like that.
And Light Days was playing. And I went because I had not seen Light Days play live, or they had their. No, they went to the concert. I don't remember seeing them like by themselves play live. And Pike's is just a restaurant, so they play in a corner in the room, and very intimate setting, right?
Yeah.
Cosmic Kitten wasn't playing. It was just me and Karen and Zach, and we went down there. Unfortunately, Jay wasn't with us that night. Would have been awesome. I love hanging out with Jay. They're good people, and it was really neat watching them support their friends, because they're good friends with the band Light Days. Watching them support their friends and talking to them about music in that setting and environment. How do I say this? I guess I could maybe gush about it earlier a little bit. They're very caring and supportive people in general. And that was kind of the first time I really saw that, because we went out to support one of their friends play. Now, the show is amazing because I actually really like Light Days music. They're Johnny and Lays are awesome. But the reason why I liked that moment with Karen and Zach so much was because of seeing them in their element, not playing, but being regular human beings loving music.
Mm-hmm.
I could see where people get burnt out on their own stuff so much. They play music all the time. It's like any, it becomes a job, and outside of that, you just want to take a break. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm in the studio all the time, or I'm always working on this. So if I don't have to, I don't want to. And still, there we were, like they do all the time, out seeing a friend's band play, even though they got their own band stuff the next night, or they just did it the night before. They're out watching another band's play instead of sitting at home, recuperating or whatever, showing their support, showing their love, having a great time. And I think that was the moment that I started to I really felt like I started to understand how much music is a part of their life. And I think that's why I picked that moment to really believe, because like you said, like I said, I've seen them play live, I've seen them, outside of the stuff, working on things, but watching somebody who's into music that much enjoy music that isn't theirs, they're not performing or whatever, just enjoying music, was very insightful, and it really gave me kind of an idea of what they were really all about. How just smiling the whole time and having a great time and enjoying the music and commenting about it and loving, it's great. It's fantastic. I think that was one of my favorite moments of hanging out with them and spending time with those guys.
That's a very special moment too, because not everyone can say that they did that. Someone can say that they went to a show that a bunch of other people went to, but I mean, okay, yeah, this as well, but it's a little bit more limited. It wasn't filmed or nothing like that. So that's very nice. I like that.
I'm very fortunate in that in this arena that I get that sort of access because of how Zach and I have become friends, and then through that, as an extension, I've become friends with Karen as well and Jay. So that's yeah. So I don't take that for granted. I think I do think it's very special that that they could choose to spend time with lots of people. They get they do a lot of things in their lives, and then I get to be a part of that sometimes. I think it's pretty cool.
Fucking rad. So jealous. And also shout out to Light Dazed. Get your fucking Light Dazed merch. And by the way, the Light Dazed EP is coming out in 2024, so you better fucking be ready for that. It's such a pleasure to be able to hang out with them. It's such a joy, and so I'm also can also say that I have spent more time with them as well as you have. So I can vouch for everything that you said is true. Hey, Donnie, do you have any Cosmic Kitten merch? And if so, what do you got? What's your favorite thing you got? What was the first thing you got? Etc.
Yeah, I don't have that much, to be honest.
That's okay.
It would be so easy. It would be really easy just to load up, right? And I'm not. I don't have. So it's kind of a funny thing. So I do have a couple of things that I think are really interesting. I do have a Laugh of a Lifetime and a record, right? I actually have a couple of LPs of theirs, but they gifted me a Be Kind of Strangers poster, and I have the two Cosmic Carnival posters. So those two are special to me. The first one especially because I got all the bands to sign it, and then the second one I just have. On the second one I just have Karen, Zach, and Jay have signed it. Right? And like I said, it's not really something that I'm into a whole lot, but I hold those two posters I think those are just very special, again, for the same reasons I mentioned why I like those concerts so much. Because I also have one of their I just remember. Unfortunately I don't have anything with me because I'm not at home. Otherwise I would show you, right?
Of course.
Yeah. So I have to think. So I've got the three posters. I've got two albums, and I do have a shirt. I think it's from that last. Yeah, it's the shirt from their last tour, where they went, where they did regionally the West, and then they went to the UK. I have one of the tour shirts.
Nice.
So, but definitely the Cosmic Carnival posters are my favorite. I have them put aside and they're taken care of and everything because like again those are events. I've seen, like I said, I've seen them play many times.
Oh, sure.
And those are all awesome. The lineup, the donations, the care that's put into all that. Those every year that they do those, that I continue to either be a part of or get a chance to go to. I want to kind of keep those all together because I think it's just it's such a special thing.
Mm-hmm. I have to figure out where to put mine. I think I'm going to put them on that wall right there, but I do have to think for the future, so I have to be careful how I position them. And that's my plan. So I'm getting what you're throwing down. Hey, Donnie, have you done any sort of Cosmic Kitten centric fan art or media, photos, videos, etc.? No. Well, good night, everyone.
No,
That's the end of the podcast forever. Donnie, shame on you.
Well,
you know you have.
I am proud of one thing. At the lockout one night, Cosmic Kitten was supposed to do a photo shoot, and for whatever reason, life gets in the way. The person who was supposed to come down and take pictures with them couldn't. So Karen grabbed her camera, because Karen's a photographer and they are awesome at taking pictures and stuff all the time. They gave me the camera and said, "Hey, would you help us out?" So I did. So for about an hour after we were done messing around with the studio and they were done practicing, we went outside and we did an impromptu photo shoot around the streets and the back alleys and stuff of the area in Long Beach. One of those photos ended up being the photo that they used for this latest round of their promotions. And if you've seen it, it's the black and white one where the camera's looking down at them. We happened to be in the back alley, and we were in the back alley, and there was a loading dock. So they went and stood down in the loading dock area while I was standing up on the above with the railing, and took that picture where the three of them were looking up at the camera. When it first was released, they gave me credit and everything, which was really special to me because I'd never had that before. I've never taken a photo before and had credit, given me. It says, photo by Don Mozzochi. But they've continued to use that photo with their stuff because it was part of the promotional package that went out when they released Laugh of a Lifetime. So I do have one, and there are other photos. I'm sure if Karen were to grab their camera, they probably have it stored on a hard drive somewhere. The rest of that photo shoot, we did a lot of really fun stuff that night. But so yeah, I guess I do have one media generated thing that I was able to do, and that the band continues to use, which is pretty cool. So yeah.
And it's a fucking dope pic too, by the way.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, thank you. But speaking of photos, I think on our screen right now we have some stuff to share. Why don't you tell us? Let's touch base a little bit on each of these real quick here. So this is from what?
So that was Harvell's, I think it was,
okay.
And
okay, yeah.
That was So that in the next couple of photos, you'll see Karen and Zach on stage.
Yep.
So in those photos, what happened that night? So Harvell's is over near where I live. It's on Lincoln, right on the border of Venice and Santa Monica. And that night was fun for a couple of reasons. One of the reasons I can't talk about, but they played. So I think Jay couldn't make it to that show, or it might have been before Jay joined the band. I can't remember, but that was the only time I've seen them play just the two of them.
Okay.
So They did their full set without bass, and that was it was interesting because I didn't know if they could pull it off, and they sounded great. They just played the parts, and Ken was able to improvise and fill in, and it was fantastic.
Oh yeah, they can go, they can go 2-piece, but I mean that's kind of like for the show to go on, but they'd certainly prefer to have that third human being there to help, and just makes everything better.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Grand scheme of things. Next we're going to be showing a video from Cosmic Carnival 2, which I was at. Check it.
Yeah, so on this one here, yeah, it's just basically, there's a couple of videos here. I think you're playing the 18-second one. Is that the one you're playing? The first one?
Yes, that was it. It was just like the end of Harry Ape right there.
Yeah. So just for reference, on rare occasions will I actually film a whole song because I want to enjoy the song. So on a lot of these clips, it's either the beginnings or the transitions or the ends because I don't want to be the camera guy. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So a lot of my media is sort of probably isn't as complete as it could be. But these 3 clips that I gave you are just in case people didn't get a chance to see them. They are clips from last year's Cosmic Carnival, and then the photo following that is a group photo with most of the band members that were still there at the end of the night who all performed. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was because they were they ended it. There's Raccoon Union over here. Jerry Dead was there for a sec. Dylan, God bless Dylan, because I see many familiar faces. I see many familiar faces. Musicians, photographers, fans. There's Zoe Roars, etc., etc. This is Yellow Butt playing right now. This is the. I think my computer is making this sound very insane because my computer is garbage. Oh, that was John from Light Dazed right there, dressed up as what's his name? That guy who did a lot of drugs and wrote a book. God, where Hunter S. Thompson. Thank you, God. Oh, this is like almost a minute-long clip. Do you have anything more to say? This was the only Cosmic Carnival show. Oh, there was Lays, also from Light Dazed. This was the only one I was able to go to because they had done this earlier in October last year, and this year they wanted to do it closer to Halloween, which already I was gone by that point. So sadly, I could not go to this the other one, this year's one, but I was at this one. It was pretty fucking awesome. See, look, this guy comes in and helps put the mic back up. Everyone's just having a fucking awesome time. It was a super long night, and they're still going hard like it was the start of the night. I think every time I moved...
after Zach spent the entire night running... Well, Zach had to run back and forth between both stages, managing the sound. Jerry did helped out with the MC activities. I think he did a great job that night. That was a lot of fun. It's the first time I had met him. And they were running around handling... that night, I don't know if you remember, but Zach had a Bluetooth device, and he was playing sound out of both sets of speakers. And when he would go from one stage to the other to work on something, the other stage would start to lose connectivity. So he almost he kept So you had to stand in between both stages, you know, so that the Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we were having a good. We were cracking up. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I know, like, holy fuck. And I think we got there around, like, 2. So we were there from, like, 2 to, like, end.
Oh, that was a long day, because I didn't get down there until, like, 5. It was going to start getting dark, like, 5:30 or something.
Oh, I saw Kaylin, and I saw Tony, and, yeah, so many, like, it's, you know, it's a who's who. It's a who's who, folks, and if you weren't there, who are you? Sorry, just kidding. This next one is also a video. This is...
Again, just more
broken
just
kneecaps.
more random shots of them playing, just trying to, just trying to catch more of the performance.
Every time I move my what's it called? My cursor, everything goes to hell. But look at that shot of everyone just going berserk. And if only we all had that energy at all times. So you didn't go to the first Cosmic Carnival, which was a little bit of a different event at the time. It was kind of the prototypical Cosmic Carnival. You didn't go to that one, or did you? 2 years ago.
No, I wasn't aware of it. I'm not sure at that time. I think I was just becoming familiar with these guys, and I can't. I have to think back now. That year, I wasn't in town actually. I was on the East Coast, handling some family stuff at the time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think the original. Sorry.
No, it was all good. It wasn't sad. It was just. It was,
okay.
I was out there for a little while, taking care of some things. Yeah.
I just didn't want to say like something like, "Oh, right on," and then you go, my grandma's dog died," or something like that, and I'd be like, "Oh, sick. Never, no more. Donnie will never again be on this show because I brought it up like a dumb thing." Hey. Look at that. Everyone's just dancing. I keep saying everyone's dancing because, like, it's just... And Karen just screamed like the devil incarnate, as they do. And this next one, I think there's some more videos. I think it's primarily photographs. This was, like I said, broken kneecaps. This one... Oh, no. This is a group shot. This is a group shot outside.
Yeah, so everyone got together, and there was some photos being taken. I jumped in there and got a shot of everybody. This is almost everyone from all the bands. I don't know. There might be a couple people out there, but that's a pretty good representation of everyone that was performing that night.
That was still around at the time. Yeah, a lot of people had to hustle on out of there. But yes. Yeah, there I am.
I'm sure there are better versions of that photo.
Oh yeah.
The version I got was dark and people were moving, but hey, I got it. So it's I see it and I remember everyone that was there. It was a lot of fun.
Hey Donnie, this one looks like it's Zach with his cell phone up to his face and Carnberry playing a blue guitar. What you got to say about this one?
So the next few files are us working. I believe this was us working on Jeeli Beeli. So this was behind the scenes stuff. So there's that video. There's a screenshot or a still shot. Then there's a couple more videos from those sessions. I think it was a couple different nights. Yeah.
And here's some more video. Looks like it's about like not too long after that or before that photo was taken.
Yeah, that was the old setup in the studio. It's much cleaner and better organized now, but at the time it was pretty cluttered.
Clutter schmutter. what's this one here? It's it's Karen
Isn't that great?
that's too that's I somehow, some way, I want that as my ringtone, even though it is a video with no sound. Like future phone makers, goddamn, make it happen. This is Carnberry and Zach. I'm guessing Jay must be there somewheres, but it depends. This is at the Pike Bar. What do you got to say about the Pike? Oh, there's Jay. What do you got to say about this Pike Bar show?
Yeah, so this was the first time I'd seen them perform there, and this was also at this point they had gotten. If you notice, they've gotten the new the drum resonant head that has the logo on it, which was kind of cool. Before before that they just had tape. They just had the CK with tape on it, you know. So
they still have that.
Now they're professional. Now they got it going on. They've got their official logo on the drum kit, which is now they've made it. The show is great. It's such a small little spot because it's a restaurant.
Yeah.
Where in the corner there's this tiny little stage. The owner is an ex-musician. Oh gosh, I'm forgetting which band he's in. It was an old famous band. He owns the bar, or he owns the restaurant.
Oh.
He loves music, so they have bands play at this restaurant all the time. And Cosmic Kitten was very good friends with the owner and the bar manager and everybody at this place, and it was close to their apartment. So they this was like a local spot for them. So they were very comfortable in this performance, and it was just a lot more fun because they were able to go down and play at a spot that they go to all the time. And like I was saying from the story I was telling you about us going to see Light Days, it was at the same spot.
Yep.
So this is a common place for everybody to hang out. So they were much more relaxed. A lot of their local friends came down that don't always go out and see them, but geographically they're local people, so they were all down there watching the performance. So I got to meet a bunch of their local friends and things. It was great. So it was a very fun performance. I wouldn't say it was. I mean, all the performances are super energetic. This one of all the performances was probably the most comfortable because of the setting. And I think they were just. If I remember correctly, I might be wrong, but I think this was at the very beginning of the releases for Laugh of a Lifetime, or just before the album came out. So they were testing new songs during this during this night. So they had a few of them. They said, okay, there's 2 or 3 songs off of the upcoming album. So we'll see what you think. And I think they were able to do that because it was their local spot, and because these were all local people, and they felt more comfortable, trying out some of the new stuff and seeing how it fit into the set. So it was pretty cool.
That makes sense. And I don't know, maybe there's some comfort in that, and also that they're like a 2-minute walk away from when they used to live in Long Beach, I should say, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
What's next here? Why don't you tell us about this one? This one is at Alex's bar.
That's correct. I was just trying to remember the name of it. I really like the sound at Alex's bar. This is a much more built out venue. They've got a big stage. They've got a professional sound system. They do live music all the time. It's set up for live music. It's a live music venue. So, unlike Cosmic Carnival last year where they were playing last year when they were playing in a restaurant, inside outside bands and stuff, the sound in here was great, and Cosmic Kitten definitely thrives. And how do I explain it? They play loud anyway.
Yeah.
When you get them in a setting like this, it's like a whole nother level, just because of how well their 3-piece band. So on kind of a side tangent, 3-piece bands are interesting for a lot of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
there's I mean some of the best bands ever are three-piece bands like Primus and Rush and stuff like that. It's three-piece bands either a sometimes struggle to fill sound, right?
Mm.
Because it'd be nice because you could tell structure wise they might do better if they had a rhythm and a lead, guitarist as well and as the singer or something, you know,
Okay.
depending on how they play out. Um, Cosmic Kitten, especially when they play in an environment like this, it really shows how well rounded and how well crafted the arrangement of their music is. So, being a sound guy, this is something I think about all the time when I listen to bands play, and maybe it's a little nerdy, but
Oh.
the songs that they write fit so well for a three piece that when you get them into an environment with a professional sound system with a big stage that's got acoustics that are well, it can be overwhelming because they everyone has their space, and at the same time, like I was describing that first show where I saw them, they can fill up a sound stage front, back, top to bottom, left to right, with even with minimal equipment.
Mm-hmm.
It's because of the way they arrange their music. It starts from the very beginning. It's not just the lyrics, but it's the melodies. It's what Karen is playing. It's what Zach is playing. It's what Jay is playing. It's the way it's all written that it doesn't feel like three people on a stage, playing their parts. It
Yeah.
feels like a cohesive image that you feel and hear at the same time. And when I see them in shows like this, when I see them on stages, that just becomes so apparent of how of why their music works so well. So
Yeah.
that's what I remember about this performance. This was one of the first times I saw them on what I would say one of the bigger stages I've seen them on, and it was just like, wow, this doesn't sound like a band getting swallowed up, in
No.
the performance of a bigger venue. This is a band that no matter what size venue they play in, their sound grows to the size of the venue.
Yes.
If you can understand that, yeah, it's like, and that's
Oh,
something that
absolutely.
Cosmic Kitten is just so good at. They're just so good at that.
Yeah. Yeah, big or small, yeah, absolutely. Like they make their presence felt. I think that adding to that, with a venue like this, it gives more of a chance for the fans or the spectators to give back by getting moshing at the appropriate moments or what have you, which you can't really do at the Pike Bar. I don't think they'd be very happy with that. So, or maybe they would. I don't know, but there's a lot more space out here, and yeah, if so.
Well, even in some of the main venues, there's venues all over LA. I mean, there's hundreds of venues, and some of them are set up for music, that are just music venues. Some of them are hybrids, some of them are just
Yeah.
restaurants that have music in the corner sometimes.
Yep.
And
Yep.
even even like in a place like the Slipper Clutch, I saw them perform there in downtown LA one time, and even in a place like that, it's a long square room. Uh, I wouldn't say it's necessarily the best acoustically, but they fill that space.
Mm-hmm.
Small spot, big spot, everything just fills with their sound. Um, and especially when a venue gets it right. So here's the key: when a venue, in my opinion, when a venue gets it right, and you can hear the subtlety in Karen's voice for when they're singing, because they have to accommodate their incredible ability to scream.
Mm-hmm.
It's when a venue gets that right, that makes for an incredible performance because their voice can be very challenging for sound engineers between the screaming and
Mm-hmm.
the soft melodic vocals.
Yeah.
Um, I experienced this firsthand when I got to do sound for them a month and a half ago. I really got to feel that challenge, um, and it's not easy. And unfortunately, and this goes for just the way a lot of venues work and everywhere. There's a lot of set it and forget it kind of guys out there, or sound engineers.
Yeah.
They get you set up in your sound check, and then they walk away, or they just sit there and make sure that nothing catches on fire, right? Alex's bar has a good, like the couple times I've been there, they have a great sound guy, and they've got a decent setup where he's out in front, and they can see the stage, and what we're hearing, they're hearing. And this performance went really well. Karen's vocals were clear, not just during the screaming, but also during the more subtle parts. And when you get that's like a whole nother level for a live performance for Cosmic Kitten. So I have this huge appreciation for sound people out there that really make that effort to understand what a band's trying to accomplish. And this performance, I remember, I really, really, really enjoyed. And I said that to them afterwards. I said, this is one of the first times that I could hear all of your lyrics, and it wasn't like just because they were way louder than everybody else. It was pocketed. It sounded great, but the sound guy got it right. And in this whole wall of sound, I could still sing along, which I think is like super important to this kind of music. So
yes. What we just played right then, by the way, was it's still Alex's bar. So it was the Intro to Madness, which was their original how they started things off deal. They do a little something else nowadays. I don't think they do the Intro to Madness too often, so that's a throwback right there. And this is perhaps also Alex's bar. No, this is Zach doing a TikTok.
No, this is just a little BTS. So I gave you some of the behind the scenes stuff.
Nice. Fuck yeah.
Just a couple little clips.
Your music going? Oh, when I'm playing, you don't want to get it with me just holding the bass. That's a fact.
Sky.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had some other videos that that I wanted to share, but without being able to convert them down in a timely manner, the file size was too big to upload. So maybe in the future, so for the people who are watching and listening, I promised that I would share those and make them part of the archive. So I'll do it in a way that makes sense, and then some of the behind the scenes stuff that people don't normally get a chance to see with Zach and Karen and Jay. There'll be a place for that, and everyone will get a chance to share that. So I think that I want to try and do that so everybody gets a chance to see it.
It's definitely pretty fucking rad, because this is stuff that not everyone can see. This is Zach perform. Oh, I gotta turn this down. Holy shit. Oh no, everything's out of control. Everything's out of control. Oh, it didn't help that I turned up the volume for like the behind the scenes stuff, and then it just wouldn't show up again. I'm like, you son of a bitch, always thwarting me. And this is Zach doing Ozone, which they weren't originally meant to do. They weren't originally scheduled to appear, but due to an unfortunate circumstance, every member was there already, so they were like, "Fuck it." So like, this was not prepared. This was not fucking prepared. This is just boom, you know. Like, that's how amazing. That's how amazing.
Yep, it was impromptu. Yeah, it was just an impromptu setup real quick because there was a spot that needed to get filled, and we were just gonna let everyone hang out. All of a sudden, Zach ran over and asked the Hazard guys. The Hazard guys were like, "Sure, we're down," and everybody just jumped up and started playing. It was great.
Oh shit! I should add my apologies. Sky is not actually here that I can see, so it's not the complete ensemble, but it's 3/4 of Ozone right here.
Yeah, unfortunately, Sky wasn't able to make it to the show. I can't remember if they had their own show that night or if they were working, but yeah, we've been doing a lot of work with Sky lately. So shout out to Sky. Appreciate all the about all the things we've been engaged in lately. There's been a lot of collaborations, a lot of work going on with Sky and me and Zach lately. So he
Shout out to Sky.
going to be there tonight. Yeah, well, he's there tonight as part of the show.
Shh.
As none of you are going to be able to go see it.
It's Christmas Day. It's Christmas Day. This has already happened.
I know. Well, I was going to make the joke.
Yeah. Oh, so I ruined the joke. That's for me. Earlier was for you.
So for all the people watching this 2 days ago, you're gonna miss out on the thing. Hope you made it to the show.
Yeah, absolutely. God, why is it? Was this the last video already?
Yeah,
that was it.
I think that's the last thing that I gave you.
Oh wow, that went. I thought it was like 20 different things, but it like went by like that. Holy shit. Well, guess what?
Yeah.
That means I can close this and perhaps not lose all my resources. I'm gonna at some point I need to like gather all this stuff and actually also share it on the fan page. I began doing it with my first guest, Penny Royal, but I have to, whoever also shared stuff, I need to like get up there so everyone can get an up close and personal. Maybe you want to see that clip again. Maybe you want to see the image again. So I'll definitely have to get the fuck on that. We're almost at the end, Donnie. Did you want to advertise anything that you're currently doing right now?
Yeah, so basically, if you want to check us out, we're at breakofdawnproductions.com. Also, you can hit me up on Instagram at breakofdawnproductions. Basically, right now, we are filling spots for January and February for recording sessions. In the meantime, we will be, we've got a few bands that we've recently worked with that are coming back in to do full albums and to follow up on some other projects that they wanted to get done. So we're slotting them into where they want to go, and we're just going to be, I guess, trying to schedule out. So as it tends to work out, everyone wants to work on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays because that's when they're off work. Sometimes during the week, it's an occasional thing, but over the course of a month, that gives you kind of like 4 chunks of area to spread out. So as far as scheduling time, we have hit us up. We have very affordable rates. We typically record as much as you can get done in a 6 to 8 hour period. Zach and or I do the engineering. We have full drum setup so if you don't want to bring your drums, you don't have to. You can use my kit, fully mic'd, ready to go. Most people show up, usually use our kit and either bring their own cymbals and their own snare, or they just use what we have because we have access to a lot of times my stuff as well as Zach's if we need it. Bass amp, guitar amps, guitars, basses. We have access to many things, so it's really easy. I think the challenge people think is that going into the studio is this huge, big challenge. Zach and I are working really hard to tear that wall down and let people know that for a very reasonable rate, what ends up usually just costing a few $100s, you can record your songs and come in and bang out a lot of really good music. We do mixes, we do mastering, and we do built into all of that is production services. People who need help with things, I take it very personally, and so does Zach. Him and I probably talk about this twice a week on average. Our philosophy of the music comes first, right? Getting the vision out in a way that you're not just excited about now, but you're excited about a year from now, or 2 years from now, or 5 years from now, is super important to Zach and I. And if that means having a back and forth, asking questions, making adjustments, doing things that help bring that vision into focus. We do that, and we work with and a lot of people we've been working with so far have taken advantage of that. It isn't just come in, record, and leave. It is, come in and work with us and help you make that vision a reality so that you're happy with your music. That's the goal. And as long as we continue to do this, I think that's the way we want to operate this this venture and try to make people as happy as possible. So that's my spiel. Hit us up. We're working. We'd love to work with anybody out there who's interested. And we have options for additional services for a small fee. Zach will sit in as a studio musician. So if you need a drummer, you need a bassist, you need a guitarist, you need backing vocals, you need whatever, Zach is open to those kind of things. And people have taken advantage of that, and that's worked out very well, even in situations where the vision needs something. We have options to help people out as well. So I look forward to anybody and all of you who are interested in hitting us up, because I just love it's my passion. I love working on music with people, and this is what we do. So hit us up.
I got another ad for you. Don't let your new single or album bomb. Get it done right at break of dawn.
I love
use
it.
That. You can also use that one for free. I tell you what, I guess that means we're at the end of the psych, because there's additional Cosmic Kitten questions that you are not prepared to answer unless you've seen the other videos. But there's a bit of a twist, and you'll see the twist very soon. Donnie, if you could get, like how there's lyrics videos to do like karaoke on YouTube. It's super easy, and anyone can do karaoke at any time now. If you can't go to the karaoke bar or whatever. If you could choose any one Cosmic Kitten song to have one of those to get the karaoke whatever, the word's not coming to me, experience, what song would you choose? And you also have to be the one to sing it as well. Like, you don't cop out. You have to also want to sing it.
Oh, no, it's Broken Kneecaps, for sure. I think I'd be it's simply because it's just the most fun, energetic song ever. And if I'm gonna go up on stage, I don't do karaoke because it's just not. I'm not a performer, right? But
Sure.
If I could picture myself up on stage performing, the idea of singing, kind of not, I wouldn't say silly lyrics, but I would say like fun lyrics.
Yeah.
And then being able to just scream at the crowd, right, and get everyone involved. It's easy for back and forth. It'd have to be my hands down favorite if I were to get up on stage and do karaoke to a song.
Okay. No, I totally agree. I think it is. I actually a while back when I had done a few things for with what's it called? It was a punk rock karaoke on Instagram, and I did that song. So I get not very well, but but it's karaoke, so it's not supposed to be very well. So I get it 100%. Excellent choice. I think we might have touched base on this, but just jog my memory. What's your favorite Cosmic Kitten music video? Did you not say it was also Broken Kneecaps?
No, that was the first one I saw and kind of introduced me to them as a band.
Okay.
My favorite music video right now is probably I like Laugh of a Lifetime. I like the effort that was put into it. I like the idea of trying to tell a story in an environment. I know a little of the background, of what they went through when they went and did this, but I like the effort that was put into it, and I think it's funny as hell every time during the chess scene when he God, what is it when he picks up the he picks up the thing and hits him across the face?
Yeah.
Yeah, picks up the coaster, hits him across the face. Yeah, I love it. I love it. The idea of what they were going through to put that together and what came out of it. I really dig that video.
And if you ever have the honor and privilege of entering the Kitten Cave, the Cosmic Kitten Cave, you will see the two of the masks, or all the masks. Two like the black and white cat ones are hanging up at the threshold, leading to their one of their rooms. Now, here's where we get fan questions. Nick Attack asks, if you could see any two bands play with Cosmic Kitten on a show, which bands would you choose?
That I've already seen or haven't seen?
Doesn't matter. Any two bands you think would be a perfect fit, or maybe not even a perfect fit, but you would just love to see them, like just on the same card, on the same event. What is the damn word called? Event card? Not card. That's for wrestling. On the same show, because I'm just my words are escaping me. Anything. They could even be dead, because someone's given me answers like that before. So.
Man, that's a really tough question. Because my first instinct is to just say bands that I've already seen play, and it's like if I could just pick a lineup, I'd like to see these bands play together because I love the vibe of the show, right?
Sure.
Because I mean, the first instinct I have is I really like the vibe when Light Dazed and Cosmic Kitten play together, because they're just because they both have similar, even though the sounds are a little different, they just have like this sort of similar approach and quality to their music.
Mm-hmm. Good answer.
But a third one would be honest, I really liked so now this is gonna be selfish. I really liked when the Hazards played this past Cosmic Carnival, and if I put them together, then we can get an impromptu Ozone potentially. Well, so here's what I would do. Here's what I would do is I'd say Cosmic Kitten, Hazards, and like Corvus or Skyly Vague, or one of the things that he's doing, and then we get Ozone, and with special guest Karen and Jay, and just put together a super group and have everybody playing, because I would have that would be a fun night. I think that would probably be my favorite night, because then you get all four of those bands, because they're all amazing, and to have them, and then the potential of getting them all to play together, I think would be a lot of fun.
Absolutely fair answer.
Maybe if you want me to say, I'd love to see him play with Soundgarden and Nirvana and Stone Temple Pilots, so we could put them all.
Any answer would have been valid. I mean, like living or dead, you could have said anyone. You could have said Sinead O'Connor. You could have said Jimi Hendrix. You could have said Fats Waller. You could have said Cab Calloway. I mean, some of those probably not going to mesh very well, but you could have if you thought, there's no wrong answer.
Well, then we definitely have to put Rat in there, because they were one of my favorite bands growing up, and I never got a chance to see them live. So there we go.
Sure, totally fair.
But they can only play songs off of out of the cellar. They can't play the second album stuff.
I can just contact them by Ouija board, and we can figure it out. Let them know, hey, just this fucking album. Don't play any new shit. Via Death of Nescafe my first guest. You have a millisecond, Donnie, to record a ringtone off the radio. Okay? The song on the radio is a Cosmic Kitten song. It's playing for one night only. It's almost at the end of the song. Hurry. What song is it that you're recording? For a ringtone. It could be a notification ringtone. It could be like a whole ass ringtone. But you have to answer now!
Probably the chorus on Harry Ape. Super iconic for them, and just total banger.
That's actually, I think I actually have some part of that for a ringtone somewhere as well. So, good answer. Hey, via Nick Patches, at Nick Patches, what's the first thing that caught your attention to Cosmic Kitten? You may have you may have already answered this, but if there's like some sort of if there's like one thing that you could say that was like, oh shit, like that sort of got you do a double take. What was the one thing out of all those things that you stated earlier?
Yeah, it was definitely like I was saying when I first saw them perform live. The next day I was talking to Zach, or a couple days later, and I specifically remember that conversation. I asked him, I said, I've never heard that sound before. What the heck were you guys doing to get that feel, that sound? And he broke it down in technical terms, but it didn't matter. Whatever it was that guitar, bass, loud drum sound that they are capable of making. And it was like overwhelming. So that's where the first thing that I heard from them that just like blew my mind was I'd never seen. I mean, I've been to some big venues. I've seen Metallica live, at the Cow Palace back in whenever it was, like 91 on their Black Album tour and stuff. And that, that was 5 hours straight of Metallica, and that was overwhelming. Okay. Yeah. Fantastic concert. It was awesome. We played everything, right? It was incredible. I had that feeling from them in that moment when I saw them at the at that show after COVID, wherever the heck they were playing. What was that? The Doll Hut in Anaheim. And that's what I knew. I was like, if they can get that sound, right, then they can do anything. And then, like I went on to say, if they can do that, and they can put out songs, like, in my opinion, like Mother Father. Yeah. Those two events, sold me as saying these guys are special.
That's the highest of fucking compliments as far as I'm concerned. Donnie, via CLC Leva, if you were a member of Cosmic Kitten, which instrument would you like to play? Doesn't have to be even one that you know how to play right now. It can be, but don't limit yourself.
It'd probably be synthesizer. I don't think they necessarily need anything more of what they've got, and I can't really envision, like, I wouldn't want to play guitar because then what would I play, rhythm or solo or whatever, or just play the same thing Karen's playing, whatever else, it's like, I don't think that's interesting. I think the only thing I could possibly think of that could expand upon anything that they're doing that I might be able to bring to the table, right, if I could play with them and like, because that's what your question makes me think of. I wouldn't want to be there to detract or just do the same thing. I would want to help improve. Otherwise, why be there, right?
Okay, yeah.
Maybe some keyboards. There's been some instances where I've worked on some things with Zach and with Karen, and there's things that we've tried or screwed around with and stuff, and there are definitely, I think, some interesting things that you could do with either some synthesizers or piano sounds or or other things to go, to go in other directions, maybe in future music. And so if I were ever to be a part of the band, I think that that's an area where I could contribute, and I think that would be interesting.
That you do, you know what? That's a very interesting answer, because I mean, if you recall in Songbird, there was some pianos in there, so they have been experimenting with it. So we already know that it fits. Fuck. My answer would have been, I gotta have more cowbell. That's my greatest Christopher Walken impression ever. That's all you're gonna get out of me, because this is not about me. This is about you, Donnie. And we're almost at the end. We're at the home stretch. Hey, Donnie, what does Cosmic Kitten mean to you? You can answer this as if what they mean to you as individuals, as a band, as a concept, as a quadratic formula, as chili recipes. The absolute sky, lowercase s, is the limit.
The first word that comes to mind is like freedom.
Freedom.
When I go to see them play, I feel like I can be myself. I notice certain things, like I'll go out, see a band play, I'll go watch a DJ or a karaoke night or whatever else, and just like any time you go out, you've always kind of got your guard up a little bit. And the funniest thing happens, because I didn't really think about it until you just asked that question. Almost always, when I see them play, I catch myself just being goofy, being myself, dancing, doing things I wouldn't normally do, just being energetic, getting into it. Who cares? So maybe I think that's the best way to explain that, is that for me right now, watching them play, going to see them play, I open up, and I just for a little while I feel completely free.
Fuck. Okay. Shit. No, you know what? That seems to be a common, said in different ways, but basically getting to that kind of point. I think that seems to be the general consensus. So I think that is in fact their vibe. And finally, Donnie, what makes you a Cosmic Kitten?
What makes me a Cosmic Kitten?
What makes you a Cosmic Kitten?
Just I feel like man, I think it's just because I want to believe, and I know, it's not that I want to believe, but I do believe that this band is destined for greatness. I think that's yeah. I keep coming back to it when I talk to them about things, whether it be after a show or after something they've recorded or after something they've done. I do believe that this band, good, bad, or indifferent, will and deserves to, proverbially, make it big. They're talented enough, their lyrics are good enough, their songs are good enough, their feeling is good enough, their effort is good enough, and I think that's what what sets me in there, that makes me a Cosmic Kitten, is I believe.
Fuck yeah. you know what? We're fucking done. But I would like you to send a message out to the kids out there today, and also a little message you want to send to Cosmic Kitten themselves. And we'll wrap it up.
No, just thanks. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to be on your show.
Thank you for being on my show.
Kitten. Thank you, Cosmic Kitten. You know, Zach, Karen, Jay. Thank you guys for all the effort that you guys put in to make great music. You know, I know it's an expression, but I also know that there's a lot of hard work that goes into making that a reality. I appreciate it. I know that, I know that we all appreciate it as fans. So thank you for that. And to all the fans, I look forward to continuing to meet each and every one of you every time I go out to shows, and we can all appreciate this great band and seeing them all over LA, and anytime they travel, going and visiting them. So yeah, I look forward to it, and I hope everyone really enjoys their next show with them.
They fucking will. Thank you so fucking much for being guest number 5 and the second to last guest of 2023. We're going to wrap things up on behalf of Donnie from Break of Dawn Productions and SpookyHelder, ruining the fucking thing. He and I are returning to